Hello everybody, this is Hammer Striker here. Today I've got the Springfield 1911 Ronin EMP 4-inch. Please don't forget to check out our website. Go to our affiliates page. You'll find discount codes for things like Mantis Axe and Core belts. You'll find a link that you can sign up for Big Daddy Unlimited. They actually have things in stock and usually at a lower price than other places. Link to that cool little bore light that we use for lighting up the barrels. Use those links. It will often save you money, never will cost you any additional money, and helps the channel. Thank you. This is the latest in both the Ronin series and the EMP series, which both are a series of 1911s by Springfield Armory. And as of the moment that I'm filming this gun officially doesn't exist. This is going to be released officially, so right now it's an embargo on the 29th. So if you're watching this day of release, it's the actual release day of this gun to the market. This is designed to be concealed carry, but it's also designed to be precision. So the EMP line is a concealed carry line from Springfield Armory in 1911s, and the Ronins are kind of a precision, high-end version of that. So this combines both of those features together, and it does have a lot of really nice features. Let's talk about just the basics first. It's 7.6 inches long, it's 5.1 inches tall, and at its widest point, which would be the thumb safety, it's 1.3 inches. It's of course narrower if you ignore the thumb safety, but that's going to affect how you're going to carry it. And it is 27.5 ounces. So it's got a forged aluminum frame, and not just stamped or poured, but actually forged aluminum. And any metal, when you forge it, gets stronger because of the compression. And the aluminum alloy is covered with a stainless steel look Cerakote. And Cerakote's a very strong coating, so it should hold up quite well. And this one, so far, cleaning it, handling it, cycling it, shooting it, all the exterior surfaces are holding up quite well. It does come with wood grips, and it's a slightly thinner radius grip, which makes it a little easier to hold on to. And of course, since this is chambered in 9mm, you can do that. You don't have to worry about the size of the cartridge. It comes with one magazine. They're Mech-Gar mags made for Springfield Armory, and they've got the EMP logo on them. And they hold 10 rounds. It's got a little bit of a base plate with a little bit of a finger grip, but the grip is long enough that most people are not actually going to get their hand down into that area. You'll notice it has a really nice beaver tail. It'd be very difficult to get hammer bit by this. Skeletonized trigger and hammer. And this is a steel slide. And the barrel is cold hammer forged stainless steel. It has 3-dot sights, and they're really nice sights. The front sight's a fiber optic, and the rear sight is just white dots, and with kind of a matte finish to make it easy to stand out. And I found these sights very easy to use. They stood out. There was enough of a gap up front to locate the target. Overall, I found these easy to use and quite nice sights, which on a carry gun is something you'd really want. But this gun actually could serve the purpose of a carry gun, home defense, and a really nice range day gun. This was actually very nice to shoot at the range. I'll put this down for a second. What you see kind of in the background here, it comes with this little case, and it's just a padded zipper case with a padded sleeve for your magazines. So you can put your magazines in here and they aren't going to scratch up the finish of your gun. And a lot of the Springfields are coming with this instead of those big suitcases. A lot of people didn't like the suitcase because they didn't need all of the things that came with it, and they were, despite being quite nice, a bit on the bulky side. The regular EMP series has a 3-inch and a 4-inch. This adds a 4-inch to the Ronin EMP series, which there is currently a 3-inch Ronin EMP. So it's kind of rounding out that selection. Springfield Armory does have a wide diversity of 1911s. One thing that's really nice about the Springfield Armory 1911s, they work well, but even their precision guns tend to be under $1,000. Yes, they have some that go up above that, but they've got a wide selection. These are MSRP of $849. They've got a wide selection that are staying below that $1,000 mark. And it's really easy, especially when you start to add features to a 1911, for it to climb and really kind of get up there fast. Most of the Springfields stay in that territory, which makes them kind of nice and makes them attainable, even with some of the higher end features. I mentioned earlier the magazine holds 10 rounds. That's 1 round more than the standard EMP series, which they hold 9. So you're getting a little bit more capacity and fewer higher end features. Now, since this isn't our gun and we don't dry fire guns that don't belong to us, I'm going to load this mag up with snap caps and I'll be right back. This gun was lent to us by Springfield Armory as part of their pre-launch. And though most Springfield Armories are dry fire safe, we're going to stick to our policy and not dry fire their gun. So those are snap caps. They're inert dummy rounds and they protect the firing pin. So, of course, with a 1911, or actually most guns, the key is the trigger. So I've got the safety off. I'm depressing the grip safety. A little bit of take up. And that is the entire trigger travel. It is an awesome trigger. It's light, it's crisp, and it's very, very short. That's the entire reset. A little bit of a bounce off of the reset, and then the break. Overall, just a really sweet trigger. You can thumb the hammer back, like any other 1911, and break the trigger yourself. But this has got a really refined trigger, and that's one of the things they're going for with this series is refined features. I'm really tempted to want to buy this gun. I really do like this gun. So I'm going to go get rid of those snap caps. The other thing I've found with this is it cycles very smoothly. Everything works nice on it. I'm going to show you also, it's got a bull barrel, and there is no bushing, so it's bushingless. So this is a full-size guide rod, and when I go to take it apart I'll show you the nuance that brings into it. But this bull barrel makes it very solid lockup, so it should have excellent mechanical accuracy. Let's go ahead and get this apart, and there are some pros and cons to taking it apart. I tend to not like tools being needed, and it does come with a tool, which if you lose this, which would be in your best interest to kind of keep good track of it, but if you lose it, a small Allen wrench would work. But I get it. With precision 1911s, the guide rod generally has to be a full length, and with a full length, there's tools going to be needed. There's a hole right here, and you put the hook of this in that hole. So I tried to do it using the studio monitor. I couldn't do it. I had to turn it towards me. So basically I just put the end of that hook in the hole. And at this point the guide rod will then be locked when I release the slide. And it also puts the gun perfectly in the takedown position. So at this point I can just push up from the other side, pull out the pin, and it comes right apart. At this point the guide rod is now captive and it's under spring tension, so you want to make sure that you don't remove that pin. Here's the frame. Really well machined, smooth, a little bit of a half feed ramp in the frame itself. Now you will see a little bit of wear on the Cerakote on the mating surfaces between the frame and the slide, but that's normal and it won't hurt anything. Just of course keep it oiled like you would anything else. But it's a well done frame. And when I move to the slide, first thing I'll do is pull the guide rod out. Comes out as an assembly. Leave that pin in there. You can clean it, do what you want to do with it. Of course, now the barrel will just come forward out through the front. And now you can see the barrel. Now it is a 4-inch barrel, of course, which is a part of the name of it. Typical 1911 design, except you've got this bull barrel at the front, a little sleeve up top, or a little depression, and very well machined conventional rifling. Being a stainless steel barrel, cold hammer forged, it's going to be very strong and very durable, and it has a very nice long wide feed ramp. So while we were shooting this, it ran flawlessly from the first round to the last round, so I didn't have any trouble with it at all. And I'll put that down. And a very well machined, simple, because 1911 slides tend to be quite simple. This is a 70 series, so there is no piston for a drop safety. However, you do have the thumb safety like any other 1911. That's part of what was going to give it that really nice crisp trigger. Reassembly is relatively easy. You slide the barrel back in from the front, put the toggle up, slide the recoil spring in, flip the toggle down, and do it upside down, because that keeps the parts in place as you line it up. Now once I've done that, I'm going to put the pin in, and I'm just going to let the pin hang. I'm catching the barrel, and I usually use my finger or to keep it from going up against the frame. And then I'm going to lock it back. Not lock it back, actually, just bring it back to that takedown position, and I'm going to push the pin back in. Now, in order to do this without scratching it, I'm going to have to set it down and kind of focus on putting it in. But basically, I'm going to swing it up and then pop it into place. But I won't be able, my hands will be in the way, so I'm just going to put it down and do it. The next step is to lock it back all the way. That will allow me then to remove this little hook. Then I can release the slide and the gun will operate normally. So it's easy to live with. That little bit of the thing with the tool is not difficult to do. The tool is shaped like an Allen wrench, so if you do manage to damage it or lose it, you could either get another one from Springfield or just use a very small Allen wrench. Theoretically, you could use a bent paper clip, anything like that. But they do provide the tool. Just the blued frame, the matte stainless appearance of the Cerakote, the wood grips, it's just a nice looking gun. And for those that really like to carry 1911s, it's about the right size to comfortably carry. It's about a Glock 19-ish size versus a full-size 1911. A lot of the micro 1911s can be a bit of a handful, so this kind of fits in that middle spot. A few remaining details, I'm going to cycle it. The thumb safety operates very smoothly and very easily. It's just a little bit of a flick and it goes. It's not stiff like some 1911 safeties. It is only on the one side, which is a pro or con. If you're lefty, then you won't like that as much, but if you're a righty, you really will, because most 1911 ambi safeties bite into your hand. So without that, it is a lot more friendly to you. Rear side serrations. The sights are dovetailed, unlike a lot of 1911s, so you can replace them if you want. And that gives you a view, kind of give you the 360 view of the gun, rotating it around. It's just a nice looking gun. Add to that the reliability. Overall, if I were going to carry a 1911, I would choose this one. I don't tend to carry 1911s, but I definitely would use this for a range day. It was a pleasure to shoot at the range. Just reliable, smooth, easy to get back on target. The trigger made it very easy to stay on target. All the things you would want in a range day gun that can also be your EDC. So again, thank you Springfield Armory for lending us this gun to do a review on and to have some fun shooting it. So now the big question I've got to decide is, do I send, when I'm done with the reviewing, do I send them a box with this gun in it, or do I send them an envelope with a check? Because I really do like this thing. Beyond that, if you like our videos, please give us a thumbs up, share, subscribe, click that bell up there to be notified if you do. Check us out on Facebook, Patreon, Instagram, Twitter, kind of everywhere. And thank you.